Let me be honest, I had no intention of speaking today. I felt it's a bit difficult for me, but as I listened to Abby, as I had a very interesting conversation with my son last night, Adam, and I listened to Mama Mumba. He told us to stand tall, eh? And I'll be honest, as Luo say, Otek, and it is difficult, but I'll try to remain unwalkable as much as I can. You know, I want us to remember Mike for certain things, and what comes to my mind is the story of the parable of the gifts. There was a servant who was given, I think, 5, other one 2, other one 1. 2 of them decided will multiply. One of them decided put it in and keep it safe. And I want to speak to my nieces, nephews, my sons, and everybody at large. That one thing that Mike did is he utilized his talents, not just for his benefit, but for the benefit of everybody around him. Mike, as I'm told by some of his old classmates, you know, you wonder where his gifting as a psychologist, you know, reading news. During English class, English literature, Mike relished the opportunity. They used to have class reading. He'd read. And I remember one of his old classmates telling me, as we worked together at the airline, and they loved listening to him. It was a gift. And you can see how he invested in his gift, and it grew manifold. And some of us are very lucky to benefit from that, because then he extended it directly to us and encouraged us in a very big way. So as we remember Mike, each of us has a talent. Each of us has that gift. Don't plant it and keep it safe. Dare to dream. Utilize your gift. I think that's the best way that we can remember Mike and thank him for the impact that he has had in all our lives. As I said, I won't be long. I was not really prepared to speak, but I want to thank specific individuals. I know Jeff is going to speak about the vote of thanks. He will give the overall vote of thanks, but I want to start by thanking Mike's kids. You guys have been amazing. Through this year, I've learned from you, your fortitude, your love. Thank you for showing that. I want to thank my wife. She's been a pillar. She's been right by my side, and I'm deeply grateful. I thank my brothers and my sister. These guys have stood. I don't know if anybody's thanked you guys, but thank you. Olga, I don't even know where you get the strength to sing on such occasions, to be very honest. But you can see the strength that she has. Yeah. I think Mike organized you a bit and helped you be very strong, and we thank God for that. And Dina, a special thanks goes to you. That despite the loss, you've held us together, you've held these wonderful children together. I thank you very, very much. Yeah, and may God continue to give you the grace, the strength, and the peace. With those few remarks, thank you, and God bless you all, and thank you for being here. Asante.
Good afternoon. Abby, I just want to say that the way you spoke here, your calmness, your fortitude, your eloquence has really made me miss your dad. And I can see where you get it from. And I heard you saying you're going to study psychology too. He'd be very proud. And I'm very proud of you for how you've conducted yourself in a very tumultuous year. And all of you, Mercy, Lena, Davis, Israel, Kisaingu. I have learnt in the course of this year the importance of family, of friends, and of faith, and more so, forgiveness. The book of Isaiah says, turn back, Isaiah 30:15 says, turn back to me and wait for me to help you. Be quiet and trust in me, then you will be safe and be strong again. For all my friends, those that I've spoken to or not spoken to, I know some of you have been very long-suffering with my silence. But I've gotten to know my real friends because in spite of my silence, you have been there. You've understood when I've not been myself. You've understood when I've gone quiet. But there's something that God has been birthing in me in what has also been a challenging year. You know, Michael, somebody once asked me, how does it feel having such a famous brother, such a outstanding brother? And they were asking me almost like, don't you feel bad everybody confuses you with him, or they say you're Michael's brother, you're Michael's brother? And I shared with Pete some time back, and it never occurred to us to ever feel bad that we were confused with Michael. Michael's name, Michael's conduct, Michael's life just simply opened doors even before we were in any of those rooms. I can't tell you that countless times you go somewhere and say, are you Michael's brother? He really showed us that a good name is better than gold and silver. And good name doesn't mean that you're perfect all the time. It means it's somebody who's submitted to God. Mike is the one who introduced us to singing. That's why we've just been unable to sing. Peter and I sing. We've sang in this very church with Michael. We've just not been able to without him. Maybe someday we will. We spoke about literature class. I don't know if you remember Michael and Jeff's room next to ours. And Michael would blast, cassettes of Macbeth early in the morning because he's preparing for his literature exam, and that these BBC recordings, and you're just like, and so I started loving literature, and we did Othello and Macbeth. I knew about Shylock, and what's a Shylock, and what's his Shylock? I always want a piece of flesh. That was Michael. Michael made us love the Jackson 5. Michael made us love Miles Davis and the trumpet and jazz and classical music. A cappella, Alan, it was Michael. He came with a cassette once, came home and said he's going to sing this at Prize Day at St. Mary's. And I remember Curtis and Julian and all his friends. Michael was very intentional. Abby, like you, that there are times, even as far as this morning, where I was taking out my phone to write to Mike, or to call Mike. The other day I looked at my phone and I saw the call that he made on WhatsApp at 2:17 the morning of April 18th, 2024. And he was in the next room. We didn't talk because he couldn't talk. And then I looked at all the messages we had before then. And it's difficult. It's difficult to see just the impact Michael had beyond what we know and what we saw. I've been to shops, I've been to restaurants where waiters will come and say, when the M-Pesa message comes out, that's the thing, you can't hide with M-Pesa. But when it comes out on the seat and they just come and they just tell you, we're sorry for your loss. I've had classmates of his come and say, we were just talking about him and how we miss him, and tears flow freely. And I don't know what we're supposed to do with that other than to learn from it and to hope that someday it becomes easier to carry. And with that, I'd just like to thank all of you for the support and for the prayers. Whether we're quiet or not, thank you. And allow me to thank a few people. If I forget you, please forgive me, because even writing, it can never be exhaustive, but for my friends. Friends who I was with in high school, the likes of Harpinder Rupra or Muhammad Ali Bai, and it's very difficult for men to just call you and say, bro, are you okay? And they do that from the UK, from wherever. I never thought, being at St. Mary's, these guys who don't profess the same faith as me would be checking on me that way, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all my former colleagues, be it at the Media Council or the National Treasury, or even those who worked with me. Thank you. I say thank you to friends who I've known for over 25 years or 26 years who have walked with me. Mudhoni, Joki, your homes have become places of solace, and your children, great friends of mine. Thank you. It's not every day. Alan, I don't call you a friend anymore, you're my brother. Your love, I shall write of it one day. And your beautiful wife, one boy, and your children. You have no idea, but may God bless you abundantly. My cousins, Christine, Lole, Linda, my uncles and aunties. A special place to my nieces and nephews. You have been so strong and such an inspiration. Michael's children. My own sons, Kyle, Fadili, and Thamani. I remain extremely proud and grateful for you. And I'm just amazed at how many stories you have of your uncle and the things he was doing with you that I was not even aware, but just spoke of such love and such time and such compassion and such investment. So when you see these children crying here, by the way, it's so personal for them in a way that I don't think I'd be able to do, but there the example is there. To Olga, Minpin, Mother of the Earth, thank you. Tawali, my brother. Thank you. Your home has always been a place of solace for me. And your children, such a joy. Such a joy. My godson, proud of you. Peter, Ochieng, I named my son after you, Thamani. He's just as cheeky as you, but just as loving and with such compassion. And I thank you, Peter. I thank you, Isabella. Though you're far away in Kilifi, I feel your love. I feel your concern. And by extension, Isabella, your entire family, your dad, your sisters. It is true. It is true. We've become one. And I thank you for that. Adam, Adlai, and Adalia, thank you. Jeff, it's not been an easy time for you either. Many other facets, but I thank you for holding it together. And for your children, JJ, Jeff, Bella, so eloquent, Bella. Thank you. And Mama Tawali, I always say, whenever I see you, I feel at peace. Thank you. And if I've missed you anywhere, please know it's not because I don't appreciate you. It's what comes to mind right now. Job says, the Lord, naked I came into this world, naked I shall return. The Lord gives and the Lord takes. Blessed be the name of the Lord. It is difficult to bless God's name when you're dealing with minus and minus and minus. But we bless him anyway because we know we serve a good God. I stand here today because I believe God was not done with me. And those who walked with me in that time, Dr. Luna, I don't know if you're here. Thank you. You're not just a doctor, you've become a friend, a brother, and sometimes a comedian. But thank you. May the Lord bless you, and may God bless all of you abundantly for being here on a rainy Sunday, Easter Sunday, when you could be doing many other things and have many other excuses to not be here. I'm just in awe just how Michael still speaks, even in his death.